Travis Wayne Goodsell. It's news time. I am a little late today because of issue with yoga. Yesterday, after I got back from getting water, I began having nausea and the stomach pains and diarrhea, and I was concerned I was getting sick. Not a good thing when you're all alone. And this morning, after I shaved, I panicked because I thought somebody might be doing meth in the building. My time in the shelter has given me an instant fear whenever I smell heroin or when I see the symptoms. Can you still see it? Be in this area if you can. Of meth residue exposure. It's poison. And my body gets hit hard by it. And so, yeah, I'm deeply concerned. I'm in a brand new apartment building, and here I am experiencing the exact same symptoms of meth poisoning from when I was in the shelter. And I did end up finding out that we were going to be inspected next week. Maybe. Depends. But got a heads up on that one. But it occurred to me some hours later that yesterday I talked about seeing some guys that I knew from the shelter on the bus, one of which was in a wheelchair. And drugs are powerful stuff, dear God. Just to have that short time on the bus, and it's taken a whole day out of my life with the symptoms. And if you haven't heard my videos where I connect the church to all this, as they're the ones that allowed it to come into Utah and purposely allowed it to come into the shelters to murder the homeless and thus murder me. It's just sick and wrong. Dear God. So, as I did the video last Thursday, I think it was last Thursday, wasn't it? When the church tried to pull a stunt of redoing their website, a little video presentation and confusion as to where to go and what to do, forcing you to read every minute detail of numerous proportions, which chases everyone away. They immediately stopped it the next day. And if you're thinking I don't have any influence whatsoever on any of this, wow, you really have not even bothered to get to know me. I sued the church. And so the filings that I put are in the public domain. Apparently you have to pay for it, but you can get free access. Well, paid access to it. But you can see the free denial of my First Amendment rights. That's available online for everyone to see. And so the church has been stalking me. They know who I am. They know my significance. And they know of my threat to them that if you would just cut out your pride and arrogance, thinking that I'm nobody, that you would actually learn the truth about the church. I should have a Wikipedia page because I am a person of historical significance. And if you don't believe that, that is part of the reason why you haven't even bothered to get to know me. My decipherment of Paleo-Hebrew alone should have gotten me a Wikipedia page, but the church will not allow it because it means I'm a translator and Nelson's not a translator. What do you think that means, Mormons? And so a week went by, and last night the church tried it again. It was slightly better, but still a pain in the ass. And so, sure enough, today they pulled it again. So you don't see the analytics that I see. The majority of the people that are watching my channel are members of the 70 and their wives. They narc to the president of the church. Because the church can't do it, because that got me a lot of views. Old people don't know how to use technology and don't understand algorithms and how it works, and so they've had to go into private mode and have other people do it. You know, the lawyers likewise had to get other people to tamper with me on YouTube, and they've got a connection to the YouTube employee and blah blah blah. And so yeah, there's really not much for the news today other than, again, they returned the web page back to normal. They did have another situation where they're helping people in another third world country where their church is hoping to generate more membership if they're not already in there, and wanting to get recognition and do a business deal with the government, blah blah blah. It has nothing to do with charity. That's all a front for their criminal operation. Because if it was charity, this church would not be hiding their financial situation. They'd be openly telling everybody, hey, we've got a new storehouse being built next to the new temple in whatever country. And Deseret Industries, likewise there, helping people out physically so that they can come to church and learn spiritually. But nope, church does not want to do any charity. The whole thing with the welfare square, yeah, that was only to help Mormons during the Great Depression and the effects of it afterward. Because I think it was after the war, wasn't it? Yes, welfare square. History. 1938. So yeah, it was after the Depression. Right before the war. Because, yeah, throughout the 30s and 40s, it was going on. And so notice how they waited. Because the Great Depression, 1929 to 1939. They're fudging the numbers here for the church. So it was a 10-year period of time. But obviously, even after it ends, there's still going to be some fallout. But, yeah, The church waited 9 years to finally get the revelation from Jesus to make welfare square. And even then, it's minimal. You have it in Southern California, but it's for all of Southern California. Here in Utah, you've got multiple welfare squares or bishop storehouses. The church does not want to take care of its own, let alone help anybody else in the world, because a charitable church would actually draw more members to it. They would see the church as actually helping them improve their lives. And when they see that it's connected to Jesus, they're going to want to learn more. It's a real simple thing, and yet all businesses suck at being business people. When you're doing a business, you want to make a lot of money, but greed takes over the mind of those who run the business. Take care of your customers and your employees. Make them prosper with your products and with the wages. And they will in turn show their loyalty. They've got to buy your products, assuming it's a basic necessity product, not some lavish luxury item, which you may get some just because they work there, but yeah. And you'd end up making more money. Lower cost, better quality, people are more inclined to buy more and pay more than they would if you were charging higher prices. See, the big corporations like Disney will never learn their lesson. They think that because they're exclusive that they're generating a whole ton of money. And yeah, they are. But because they're Disney with an exclusive product, they could be quadrupling what they're making now. And they just don't care. And so, yeah, likewise the church. They're a multi-trillion-dollar organization, but they could actually be doing more. And they don't care. It's one of those things where corrupt people are running the world. And they don't care. So, now to the local news. I also brought up yesterday that the weather girl probably wants to be called meteorologist, like Allison Krogan insisted. She was starting to get angry with me. That was maybe even a decade ago now. Dear God. But I had pointed out she's wearing green. Can't see her knees. Well, guess what? She's in purple, and you can see her knees. I'm sure they're not watching me either. Nobody got back to them. No, not at all. So, the bigger theme that we're talking about today is yesterday, after I went on to other news, they snuck one in about 3 elementary schools in Utah County are preserved for a little bit more time. See, apparently Utah doesn't want to teach our kids anymore. I mean, they're already graduating at 16 years old, which means they've removed all the science core curriculum from the school systems here in Utah. And so it's all just faith-based teaching. So what's the use of the schools then? They already get the faith-based teaching from church. And so why pay for schooling when you can pay for the police forces and the National Guard and the military budget for Utah to clamp down on the people, take away their First Amendment rights? Because apparently that's where the schools are being moved to, is the prisons. That was yesterday's story too. Apparently, if you're a kid in Utah, you don't go to school anymore, you go to prison. And you graduate there. You get behavioral training to graduate. Re-education program. Dear God. And so, yeah, that's a problem, and they're concerned. Why are more Utah schools facing possible closures? Because the kids aren't decreasing. That's not the problem. And so, yeah, I hate it being right all the time. It's like you'd listen to me and you know nothing about Utah, you know nothing about the church, and you think, this has got to be onion news. Nope. Nope, it's all real. And so, yeah. Utah State University, that's Logan, isn't it? Because the University of Utah is here in Salt Lake. So Utah State University, I think, is Logan, right? I'm not really into football. I know there's the big game every year, the University of Utah versus BYU. And, you know, which God is true? The old Mormon God or the new Mormon God? But, yeah, apparently there's a football player who's been locked up, going to get his education in prison now for rape and selling amphetamines. Oh, Adderall. Seriously? Adderall? Isn't that for ADDDHCCQQ? Whatever that nonsense is. You raise your kid on video games, they're not going to want to sit down and pay attention to a book. That doesn't mean that they need to have drugs to slow their brain down. It means you need to change your educational program. You know, do away with the school systems and develop computer games that would teach your kid. And apparently, after several failures to get a gondola in Utah, as you know, the boy mayor of Ogden had tried it way back in the day, and he lost. He wanted to do whatever he wanted, or he was going to take his ball and go home. What is he up to these days? Is he still alive? And then there was another attempt here in the valley, but they did a cost analysis and found that no, this is the worst idea in the universe to do a gondola. It cost more than what it could make, plus it would continually lose money year after year after year. It was a horrible business strategy idea. as much as it would be a great idea for ease and comfort getting up the mountain. But financially, it sucks. And so here they are again. It's going to be Little Cottonwood Canyon. UDOT has decided that since they can't steal the money that they get from the government, if you remember that scandal, they're now going to dump it all into a money pit in Little Cottonwood Canyon. Dear God. And so another guy is going to be educated in prison. The Haney guy who murdered his mother, it's not kill, it's murder. He was sentenced. So he's now convicted. The news needs to tell it correctly. He's found guilty of murder, and now he's been sentenced for murder of his mother and siblings. 100 plus years. That's a lot of schooling. I guess they figure that he needs Mormon Jesus in his life. So there's a new campsite in Utah State Park. And visitors are saying, "This is absolutely amazing." Well, yeah, wait till next year when it's completely trashed. It's brand new. Of course it's absolutely amazing. And the big story of the night made you wait. It made you listen, because nobody wants to listen. They're just doing pictures. You just watch pictures and then you're gone. How are you going to give a proper report to Nelson if all you do is watch the pictures? So, Mormons in Utah are haters, and one of the groups that they hate are the native Indians of this area. And Brigham Young didn't want them here and murdered them to take over the land and built forts to keep them out. And then the United States came in and forced Brigham Young to have to deal with the United States and not so much the native Indians anymore. But after Brigham Young had died, and almost John Taylor too, for the most part, the earliest one is 1880, and you'll see on the screenshot there's some typing errors. Way to go, Fox 13 News Utah. It's not 1836 to the present for Anteth, which is actually Aneth, boarding and day school. And apparently it's 1835, not 1836. As I wanted to look and confirm this information. Oh dear God. So yeah, it's 1935. So yeah, the oldest one was the Uinta boarding and day school. That apparently looks to be the original trail into the Salt Lake Valley. I'd have to compare it with the trail map that I have, but yeah, these boarding schools were specifically designed to remove the children from their home and turn them into white men, white folk. They were a re-education program, do away with their heathen traditions, much like the Catholics when they came to the Americas. Starting with the Aztecs, murdering them, destroying all the Egyptian gold plates. See, if they hadn't have done that, we would have had the gold plates available for us, and Mormon apologists would go, see, church is true. Here they are. Oh, look, this word is Nephi. Uh-huh. Yep. Can't remember the name of the cartoon, but I think we should use that song in the description below. But those Mormons down in I don't see which one. It could be the St. George one or Panguitch. There's a mass grave. The Mormons were murdering the uncooperative, behavioral problem Native Americans, little kids. And the Paiute Nation has confirmed that yes, that's who they were. And of course they don't, Fox 13 News Utah will not associate it with Mormonism that did this, with the church run by Mormons trying to re-educate. God. They don't give a damn about this nation. They don't give a damn about the laws and the Constitution. They want their Zion back with all their abominable laws and atrocities and inhumane treatment of people. And Mormons don't have a clue of what they're in for if the church wins and gets their Zion next year. So yeah, apparently everybody along with the church are closing everything up. That was just going to do that for that video. And so yeah, I guess the Screen Actors Guild is at midnight tomorrow. Tonight, but tomorrow, because midnight is tomorrow. Unless you're the Jewish calendar, which is 6 p.m., we're already into tomorrow. So, yeah, it's a horrible abomination that I can't get people to listen to me. They don't like my tone. They don't like my presentation. Bleep you.